Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our test account and we do have a brand new code. If you didn't catch it yet, there is a brand new code. Now on the test server, you do still put the codes here in the redemption code. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the code in there. And this is a code that was shared over on Facebook. Want to make sure that you're using this redemption code because it is yielding you some pretty good loot, including 3,000 diamonds. So if you're looking for the Draconic Heroes or the Celestials or the Hippos, you can go ahead and get them with a couple more diamonds. Usually it's only 1,000, so it's really, really good to see 3. Now again, this is only on the test server. If you're not on the test server, you have to go through the old school way with the outside website for the redemption of the code. Test server still does it the really original way that we did this. Now in today's video, I want to take a look at our new Greyborn hero. So a lot of questions are kind of coming up with this hero, including the one burning question, which is of course, why was this hero released 12 days early? Now again, traditionally, this is going to come at the cost of new dimensional heroes, new crossover heroes. That is usually the reason why, is them to get in a storyline or get really a timeline they might have for, let's say, a contract for a crossover, wink, wink, something else like that, that they have the ability to, and it really sticks to a release date in a certain timeline. So we could be seeing something, honestly, in the future. I haven't seen anything data mined at this point, but I want to hop in here with the Arena of Trials, test out this hero a little bit. And of course, right now we do have Kregor who was up and Rando who was up. So both of these heroes are currently up. Now, when it comes to support heroes in general, when it comes to the guild trials, very, very difficult to really try anything on here short of seeing how the skills and abilities work. The reason being you can't remove him from the formation. So I'm going to start at 360 and I want to drop him in here and see functionality wise how he works. And we do like going in here and seeing kind of the survivability. We'll drop him back middle and see what he does by himself. This is always a question that a lot of players have. So he comes out. Now, of course, remember, he jumps to the nearest target. So he does go straight to the allied side, which really causes a lot of concern for a lot of heroes and a lot of players. Because if he is going straight to the enemy side, for majority of the heroes that do something similar to this, they go over to the enemy side and they get wrecked. So even thinking of the methodology with this hero, almost seems like in level deficiencies might not have the ability or the survivability to get over there unless you do have a lot of crowd control kind of setup, or even thinking of a hero that has a delay like Leica, that is going to bring him in and allow essentially the frontline heroes to go in and do the thing that they do, being able to tank, being able to do a little bit of the defensive aspect before we actually get him. And that's where I'm kind of wondering, even looking at this first formation, like an awakened version of the awakened version of Chimera. Again, this is a combination that I think would go pretty solid. But when he comes out of the gate, so she comes up, he goes straight over there, boom, right in the mix of all 5 of the enemies. Now you can see the awakened version of Chimera back a little bit, but he overall is right up in that incredible mix, 4.6. And as you can see, the damage isn't there when he is by himself. Of course, which we're not going to run him by himself. He does a considerable amount of damage, but when it starts coming to other formations, this is again where it is very hard to test, because when you look at the skills and abilities that this hero possesses, which we'll look at in just a minute, they're a little bit more difficult to kind of disseminate what exactly he's doing, how is he's doing it, because again, you don't have the ability to take him out of formations. But I feel like I'm, again, a little concerned. Let's increase the level deficiency in here and see what this looks like. Let's go for another 100 levels. Let's say go to 460, which I know with Braun, very, very strong in a lot of different game modes. Lady Simona running in here as well. Then our new support hero. Thinking of kind of the slow burn, and I want to see if his damage does come out in a little bit, because we're not getting his ultimate ability as we're seeing it right now. So 35, 52, 18, and 24. So he's coming in second to the awakened version of Chimera, which again, we didn't get to see the ult that he has. So let's go up to another 100 levels. This puts us at a 200 level deficiency, and see exactly kind of what this looks like at this point. And the viability of this hero, because there's the ult. So we know those snakes are going to come up. There's the alt, and you can see the snakes are actually right here in the back. Now, also remember the snakes are stationary. That's the other thing. So I don't know if the snakes actually died right there. So 205, 180, look at that. 102 million from the support hero. I want to run that through one more time. Let's even go back a little bit higher. Let's go to 610. And I want to see if, because I think the snakes can be targeted. So we had this issue before when it came to Solus in the ability to get her flowers up. They died out super fast. So there we see the AoE right there. Now you can see taking an incredible amount of damage. And I can't see where the snakes, it looks like the snake is back in this right. And they do have a health bar. You'll notice right there, there is or that might have been his health bar. Actually, he would look like he was poisoned, but 639, 677. So again, it seems like he kind of peaked on the damage in there. Let's play this through a little bit. And I want to see again, kind of what it looks like. I want to try to pause it and see, because he hops right over and it looks like he is right in this mix with Lady Simona's bell. It is where I'm thinking, because again, I'm trying to look for, he is right there in front of Talia. And see, he is still right there in the back. So he takes her out. Then, of course, there's the ultimate ability again. But I don't see the snakes that are up. I'm wondering if a multiple target situation, even looking at the healing here, guys, 129 million. And then, of course, the shielding. He took a lot of damage within that formation. Now, the other one we were kind of talking about is let's do like an Ulna. And I know this is something that is coming off really strong in PvP. Let's go ahead and drop Ulna in here. I don't think we have her in any of these formations. And then look to do like an Iran in here. And then Leica. Now, of course, Leica is going to bring this formation in a little bit different, and also have a little bit of a variance up here with the front heroes, with the defensive aspect of the heroes. There we go. So we have the big Leica coming in. There's the hero. Boom. Kind of pulls off, or no, got a lot of damage, but right there in the middle of the two. It seems like almost took the spot that we were seeing Iran right there, and then it did teleport away. So as soon as Iran died, Randall did teleport away right there. And I'm wondering, 623 2, still doing pretty decent damage. I'm thinking overall with an agility support, we are still seeing some pretty solid damage within the formation. But where could it work with Maulers? This again is a little bit scarier when it comes to level deficiency. And what exactly and where this and how this is honestly going to work. So we have Sophia up here, gets the shielding, but again, teleports right into the fray of the enemy side. And I'm almost thinking there's a point where he's going to have to have a lot of the defensive aspect. And I feel like some game modes he's probably going to do very well. And he died right in the back. But I'm thinking overall in some game modes, he's going to do very well. And then places like this, where we don't have the ability, or essentially the enemy has the ability to be a little bit more defensive, we're not going to see quite the build out in there at all. And of course, when it comes to the Maulers, unfortunately, you know what? Let me swap him with Kelthar. We don't see an incredible amount of utility with this group as it sits today. But there is the swap, so they're both on this side. Changing positions can make a big difference, but even there, guys, Naruko getting run over, which is one of our very strong tanks. The Awakened version of Brutus still giving off a lot of crowd control, which I love. And Randall's still alive. So with what Sophia is really the shielding aspect in there, survivability aspect, then of course Villanelle, looks like this is going to be a victory. And again, right there is the snakes that are coming up on the sides. 355. Yeah, it seems like if you can get the snakes up, and also remember in a boss fight is he's going to go right to the boss fight. He's going to go right to the enemy side in that boss fight, which again could provide either very good, or we might have a lot of issues with it. But let's bring in like Liberta in here. Let's bring in Lucilla in here. And I'm thinking almost frontline tanks, and I'm wondering if we do put him kind of front line just for the fact that he is going right onto the enemy side anyways. We know Gavis in here, and there we go. So he teleported away. It's still right down here. So he gets the ultimate ability off pretty early, but he does go down pretty early in there. Yeah, and even with this combination, even with Lucila, went down a little bit earlier than we wanted to in the formation. 401, but still, I mean, 130 million in a very, very quick formation. And of course, we did get, oh, let me go up. I want to see, again, that formation specifically. Let's swap him up and let's put them in the back. Because we know, again, he's going boom. He kind of teleports, comes right here into the fray. He's right here, almost in the middle. And there is the ultimate ability. Yeah, damage-wise, because there's the ultimate. And again, it brings up the snake. And it almost looks like the snake is not targetable. I'm trying to see right here in the middle because the snake is actually right here in the middle. There's two snakes up. And it seems like we're going to have to keep them in distance to get the damage. So let's run through some of the skills, guys, that we're seeing here in the video. I want to show you kind of where he's coming from and my thoughts around the hero. So this, of course, is the ultimate ability. This is when the snake is up, bound to the ally with the highest initial attack rating, which again, the snakes seem like they're going to be very, very strong, but they don't move. They are stuck with where they are. They don't have the ability to run around with a lot of targets. No enemies within melee range. It'll unlock the ranged attack, power reduced by 33%. So again, you're seeing a pretty big damage reduction from that Soul Serpent because they are stationary in their entirety. Now, Soul Reaper, this is another one where he is collecting souls that stacks up to 8 times. And of course, both himself and the Soul Serpents by 6%, reducing damage. So this is going to give him some mitigation, but this is also going to amplify the damage that those Soul Serpents are doing. And I'm almost wondering with the Soul Serpents, if a hero that buffs up pets or has the ability, which is interesting because we've seen a lot of heroes lately that kind of target the pet aspect that we do have in here, but definitely going to have to get the souls up, going to have to get that attack and that defense up. Now, of course, when the urn is full, this is the ability that is going on there. Healing the Soul Serpent. So again, trying to keep them up. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get them and really keep them alive, but only time will tell with that. Soul Serpents go into a frenzy for 6 points, again, gaining haste, physical pierce, and then with the furniture, it does even more. Now, this is a state where, of course, there's survivability. That is where we're seeing the issue with this hero, this survivability of the hero itself, trying to keep him alive. And then, of course, dodge goes up, magic suppression goes up. When in a covert state, he recovers the 80 energy, capped at 480. So he gets half of his energy back. When the number of Soul Serpents is reached its limit, he gradually transfers energy to allies bound to the Soul Serpents, which we know is the strongest ally. Now, when you go in here, this is another one, restoring health. So this is the healing aspect that he has with the unlocked Soul Urn. And then right here, the damage and health loss recovered by allies by 22nd reduces the damage and health loss. So if there is a mitigation right here, this again is another big one. Then you have magical pierce, physical pierce that you're picking up. Again, that makes me think boss-wise, we're going to see it. And then this is the same one that we've seen before. So when he collects these Riven Souls, allied bonuses gain the same attribute bonus from Death Call as the Soul Serpents. So as you're building up those Soul Serpents, it's going to make a difference. And they have the energy reduction, transferring it to the ally that it's bound to, which is the strongest ally in here. Again, seems like it might be a very, very unique build on a hero, but I feel like he is going to find a place within AFK Arena and have a little bit of utility just based on the build. And I want to see, and I'm almost wondering, Curse Realm Nightmare Corridor, if we're seeing him anywhere in this demographic to being built or being utilized, in which manner is he being, if he's being used, because we know these are up right now. Looking at the whales, looking at the big builds, not in Team 1. And there he is, Team 2. So just like that, let's run this formation from Sirius or Cirrus, and we'll see what this looks like. So boom, there he is, going right in the formation. He is sitting right face to face right here with Brutus. And he is going to amplify the damage, which is exactly what we're seeing. So now, where are the serpents? So looking in here, and again, with the crazy ultimate abilities, 1, 2, all the serpents are up. So they are not taking out the serpents at all. We've seen all 3 serpents, and you can see that they're still up. Nadia's up as well. So talk about some massive serpents in there. And then it looks like Rando himself might be in the middle of this mess. So these enemies are locked in this little circle, and they are just burning down the damage. Because remember, all of the snakes are also doing the damage here, which is kind of crazy. I mean, 2 billion. I know, again, it is about amplifying what that awakened version of Belinda is doing, but very, very interesting to see him used. And we kind of figured that it might be a hero burst damage. We could see the exact same. So we know that they are being used in here. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, maybe not being used as of yet. Might be a little bit too early, or might not be used at all. That's going to be interesting to see. Now, also remember that these battles, because they only last a very, very short duration, might not have enough time to get all of those soul serpents up, get the energy regeneration going. Might not be a point that this hero is going to have utility within the Nightmare Corridor, but he could be used in the Cursed Realm considerably, just for the fact that the battles are the full duration. So of course, not being used in here either. Now, I don't know if I have access to the Treasure Scramble right here. Again, this is the test server. Don't play it all this often, but yeah, season hasn't started at this point. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.